This is Harry Judd for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. We're here at the O2. I'm delighted to be joined by Anthony Crolla. First of all, Crolla, how are we, mate?
Harry, I'm good, thank you, mate. I was just having a go at the football machine and yeah, it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good. I reminded myself why I used to get punched in the head for a living and not didn't use my feet.
That surprises me, to be fair. Low centre of gravity as well. That was because I used to...
It wasn't that bad. I was a bit better than Spencer Oliver. I don't know whether that's out to brag about, but yeah, I beat Spence, but yeah.
You enjoy football. We're just speaking to Jermaine over there, but it is boxing this week and this weekend. Obviously, it was postponed. It seems like only yesterday that we're here talking about it. But we were, on the boat and obviously in the hotel when the news broke. But I didn't get to speak to you after it happened. So, yeah, just give me your thoughts on when it was announced that it was all done and done for the right decision, let's say.
It was, first of all, you got to give massive credit to the whole boxer team, the fighters, for such a quick turnaround. Because it does seem like yesterday, it seemed like last week or two. But... thankfully it's back on and it's back on so soon and I can't wait for it. And I always say, certain fights have that real big fight feeling about them, and this is certainly one of them.
As an ex-fighter yourself, obviously they went through a rigorous 6-week training camp. I was fortunate enough to go down with Savannah and see Peter, and this was one of the hardest camps that she's ever been through. It's not a surprise. It's the biggest fight of her career so far, but how would you have treated that time between then and now?
Well, Peter's a very smart man and he's a fantastic coach, so I think he would know all about. Savannah was ready to go, so it's about sort of tapering and then bang, shooting up again, ready to go again, because obviously you can't just go straight back into hard training or your fighter will go flat. So even now as a coach or as a fighter, you would have to take a little bit of a rest, you'd have to have a bit of a come down and then bang, you'd shoot back up. Obviously, during that time, you've got to maintain your weight or watch your weight. I don't think it's great to sit on the weight for 4 or 5 weeks, however long it was. So I think both camps are very experienced and they would have dealt with that the best they possibly could. And I think they would have dealt with it well.
Obviously, with Clarissa having to travel, etc., will this have an effect in some part, and will it affect Clarissa because of the travelling more than Savannah, or will it not?
Well, listen, I think if the travel's going to affect anyone, you'd certainly think it'd be Clarissa over Savannah jumping on a train for a few hours. But it's, you don't know. I'm sure that it's definitely not ideal. Definitely not ideal for Clarissa having to travel back home with all the team and then come back, time zones and whatnot like that. But like I say, I believe she's very experienced. Listen, 10 years ago, both girls in Olympic Games, 10 years on, they picked up a vast amount of experience to improve. So, yeah, we'll have all the answers on Saturday night if it's affected anyone or all like that. But both girls look in great shape. Both girls are speaking well. Both girls are very confident.
This is a massive event. A statistic I found out that when Savannah went pro in 2017, there were only 7 licensed female British boxers in this country. Now look at it. Look how much the sport has grown in the UK as well.
It's crazy. It's the way the women's side of the sport has grew. And I always say that was one of the few positives about lockdown. There was a female fight on nearly every card and it delivered. And I've got a female fighter on my own now, and I know I keep saying female this, female that, the women's side of the sport, but I just judge it as boxing now, and that's always the aim. But that's the way I think it's going, and these girls are going to deliver on Saturday night. I'm very confident about that.
One of the fights I think many of us are excited for, again, like it was previously, was the Alicia Baumgardner and Michaela, mate, and what a fight that is. I think the rivalry has grown, it's continuing to grow. In terms of things burning out and stuff, this is never burning out in terms of those two.
And I think the press will be interesting with those two tomorrow. That's a fantastic fight, and I believe both the main event and the co-main are real pick'ems, and whichever your pick is, I won't be slightly surprised if we got both wrong. It's a fantastic fight, and there's no denying that Michaela's a big girl for the weight, and she doesn't hide that fact. And Alicia, I think, plays on it, and you think if anyone who's had to hold this weight longer, it'd certainly suit Alicia Baumgardner. But Michaela, she looks in fantastic shape here today. Both do. I think Alicia always does, fantastic physically. that honestly, like from a boxing point of view, I'm looking forward to that fight every bit as much as Shieds-Marshall. I cannot wait for the main event. So that says a lot.
Obviously, with last week and the problems and stuff and the problems within boxing at the moment, it seems like this event is a bit of a fresh air from all of that that's going on.
Yeah, just a bit. Listen, there's no denying. I think the last week, it's been, a really disappointing week for boxing. There's no denying that a fight that captured the public's imagination to be postponed or called off, whichever it may be, for the reasons it was, is really disappointing. But I'm sure these two girls and the rest of the girls on the bill will do us proud on Saturday night for sure.
Obviously, you just mentioned it there, the Eubank Ben situation last week. Conor's come out and put a post out saying that all will be revealed. It's difficult at the moment to sort of gather in terms of what happens now, in terms of Conor. How does he clear his name?
Yeah, of course, and there's going to be a lot of questions asked of Conor. He seems confident in how he's posting. He's going to clear his name, and I really hope that's the case. But then I'm also, we've also got to be realistic. At the minute, what we know, only what we know so far, it doesn't look good one bit. It don't look good at all. So he will certainly have a job on his hands, clearing his name. But everyone deserves the right to defend themselves and clear the name, and he's going to be given that, I hope. But as of right now, of what we know, we'd be lying if it said it didn't look very bad.
Yeah, I mean, all we can go off is what we're being told. These are unrefuted things that are coming out at the moment. But Eddie Young came out and said something on Matchroom's YouTube channel, saying there's a lot of righteous people out there. Is it that people are righteous, or that people are just right in this instance?
Well, I think it's a bit of both. A bit of both. I think, listen, you've got to remember, I think there'll be a lot of people who want to put the boot in on Eddie because of the character that Eddie is. And listen, I'm sure if it was someone else in boxing, it'd work, the other way around. And there is a lot of people with opinions, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. And only what they've been told, what's come to public at the minute, as of yet, it's hard not to agree with a lot of their opinions. However, like you say, time will tell. Conor's got the right to defend himself, and we'll see. Listen, as we know at the minute, he's got a very big thing to defend, and it looks very tough. But they seem confident that they can do that, and we'll see. And like I say, I look forward to listen, and I really hope he does manage to clear his name. But at the minute, like I say, that looks very tough.
Conor Benn's all about this doctor who's just coming out, Dr. Usman. A lot of it's coming out about that. One thing he said was that 80 to 90% of fighters are all juicing. What was your first reaction to that when you found that out?
I don't know whether he means at all levels, because I think at all levels there's absolutely no chance. At the elite level, I probably think it's probably a little bit too high still, but there's no denying it. It's a big problem in the sport. Let's be honest. It's certainly a big problem in the sport. It's something that gets papered over a lot, and unfortunately, the people who are supplying, though there's a podcast with Dr. Usman, I think what's done the rounds, people who, I'm not saying he's supplying them, I won't get myself in trouble here, but the people who are supplying them, 9 times out of 10 are ahead of the drug testers. So performance-enhancing drugs are not just a problem in sport, a problem in boxing, they're a problem in the whole of sport. There's not many sports where I could imagine where they're not involved. But I always say it's very different in case of athletics, having a race on a football pitch. It's not right because big sponsorship deals, we lost chances of glory, I lost. But in boxing, in MMA, in other combat sports where PEDs are involved, you're causing damage to your opponent, and I just think it's a whole different kettle of fish when someone's health gets affected.
Thank you for talking to Boxing Social, Anthony. Again, more and more will come out, and I think we'll have more clarity, hopefully, in the not too distant future.